For the next few minutes, we're going to introduce you to a piece of gear that is light years ahead of what you're using now, will save your department money, and more importantly, save lives. Introducing Coldfire, the fire extinguisher that is being adopted by more and more law enforcement departments all over the country. We will show you how Coldfire will help protect the patrol fleet, riot squad, corrections, and SWAT and tactical teams. Coldfire is the first choice for first responders when it comes to fire safety. Why? It's easy to use, affordable, completely non-toxic, and it is 10 times more effective and less expensive than those old-fashioned dry chemical extinguishers you're using now. And there's absolutely no wasted product. What's wrong with the old-fashioned dry chemical extinguishers? Just ask any police officer that has tried to put out a substantial vehicle fire with a victim trapped inside. They just don't work. The DryChem's 100-year-old technology is no match for the hot-burning, man-made fuels in today's vehicle fires. And since police officers are almost always the first to respond to a car fire, you've got to be prepared to save a life.
A Kansas City man survives a crash Monday morning that caused his truck to catch fire with him trapped inside.
Fox 4 Shannon O'Brien is live in Prairie Village with more about how that man was saved. Shannon.
Well, we're here at 79th and Belinder, and this is usually a pretty quiet neighborhood. The accident that happened Monday, so bad. You can see it took part of that tree out, the driver hitting it so hard. His truck ended up flipping around on the other side of the street and catching fire. It's hard to believe that anyone could make it out of this mangled mess of metal alive, especially when you see how officers found it, engulfed in flames.
A neighbor tried to help the gentleman, and she had a normal fire extinguisher.
Tell her to get back!
But it was just like a puff of smoke. It really wasn't doing it.
Prairie Village police officers armed with cold fire canisters, a more powerful fire extinguisher made for these types of fires. This fire so bad,
Is anybody in there?
officers didn't know if there was anyone in the truck
There's a body in there.
until they knocked down the flames.
Oh, we got movement!
When the officers got there, if they did not have the fire extinguishers to put them out, or the cold fire, yes, the driver would have been burning for a while until the fire department got there.
It's a minute and 24 seconds after police arrive on scene that you can first hear fire truck sirens in the distance.
But seconds count when your car's on fire.
Yes, it does.
These cold fire canisters are the same ones kept in NASCAR race cars to put out fires. Prairie Village police bought cold fire canisters for every city police car after the city of Lenexa did research about the best tool to use in these sorts of situations.
Lenexa actually had a similar incident where the vehicle caught on fire, and they had traditional extinguishers, and they weren't able to put the fires out, which it ended a little different for that driver.
Monday morning, the 20-year-old driver of this truck was in bad shape, pretty badly burned, but alive when fire rescue crews pulled him out of the truck. Police say the cold fire canisters helped officers give this victim a fighting chance.
So when you get there, you want to provide assistance, you want to render aid, and you kind of feel helpless if you get there and you don't have the right tools to help out a citizen.
Now, police are not releasing the name of that 20-year-old. However, they did say when they pulled him out of that truck, he was in critical condition. He is now at the University of Kansas Medical Center burn unit in stable condition. Now, the woman that you saw run out of her house and use that fire extinguisher on the truck before police got here, we'll hear from her on Fox 4 News at 6. Shannon O'Brien, Fox 4 News, working for you live in Prairie Village.
What makes Coldfire different? First, it's completely green and plant-based. It's non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about breathing it in or swallowing it. It cools metal down 21 times faster than water. It can create a thermal barrier to keep skin from burning. Coldfire's formula is UL listed for both Class A and B fires, so it's effective on everything from grass and structures to car tires, diesel fuel, and even flammable metals like magnesium. It will flat put out any fire faster and cheaper than any dry chem extinguisher, saving both lives and property. Vehicle fires are a huge problem. Each year, there are more than 300,000 car fires, causing 440 deaths and 1,500 injuries. 1 in 4 fire department responses is to a car fire. And it's a good bet that your police officer is going to be the first on the scene. Does he have the right equipment to rescue a victim trapped inside? So much of police technology has changed over the last 40 years, except for one thing: your extinguisher. Cold fire can help keep your officers safer, reduce injuries, and help save lives. Make the move into the 21st century with cold fire. Police departments face more danger today than ever before, especially when it comes to what used to be called civil disobedience. Every major international conference has a potential for violence, like the G8 and G20 conferences, which always bring protesters and firebombs. In Greece, a country undergoing economic upheaval similar to our own, the weapon of the streets is the Molotov cocktail. In fact, a quick Google reveals more than 500 how-to videos on making your own Molotov cocktail.
Απολύουν βόμβες μολότοφ και πέτρες προσπαθώντας να πλησιάσουν στο ύψος της νομικής. 2 αστυνομικοί τυλίχθηκαν στις φλόγες από μολότοφ που τους πέταξαν διαδηλωτές. Τους έσωσαν οι ειδικές στολές.
Or even in a metropolitan convenience store.
Myra Lopez, the
Some communities in the U.S. even celebrate victories with arson, like after the recent Lakers win. In our jails and prisons, the inmates frequently use fire as a protest or during a riot. Cold fire can be sprayed directly through the bars of the cell without harming the prisoner, instantly extinguishing the fire and eliminating toxic smoke, containing what could have been a disaster. Every dangerous situation has its own demands. That's why Cold Fire offers not only the 1.5-gallon fleet kit for the patrol cars, but also a 13.5-ounce and an 8-ounce tactical spray can with an available holster. The 13.5-ounce can is perfect for the glove box of the squad car. The 8-ounce can will spray down a grown man head to toe and is small enough to fit on a belt holster. Cold fire can also be used to help cool down some of your other specialized tools, like det cords, Borgo torches, and flashbang fires for SWAT, ERT, and tactical operations. Cold fire's amazing cooling ability lets you work with metal that was white hot just seconds earlier, saving you precious time. Like we said earlier, we're not trying to make police officers into firemen. But face it, you tackle unimaginable risks with just your wits and the tools at hand. Don't your officers deserve a fighting chance against fire? Cold fire has been used for nearly 20 years all over the world. Racetracks like the Indianapolis Speedway and Long Beach Grand Prix use it because it will put out any fuel fire. Now, with a special freeze-protected, all-season blend designed just for law enforcement, it's becoming the go-to choice for fire safety for everyone from patrol cars to SWAT and ERT teams. Here are just a few of the dozens of departments that have made the smart switch to cold fire. There's a lot more we could say about cold fire. Won't you invest a few more minutes and contact your Cold Fire Code 3 rep today about how you can give your officers the life-saving tools they need to do their jobs and protect their community?